Hey there, future financial champions. If you just clicked on this video, you're about to discover the secrets that credit card companies don't want you to know. But before we dive in, do me a huge favor. Don't leave this video halfway through. I promise you, this could be the video that saves you from massive credit card losses and helps you make serious money instead. Welcome back to Smart Card Revies, your go-to place for financial freedom. If you're new here, I'm Awan Wasu, and I work incredibly hard to bring you the best money-saving tips and strategies. And hey, if you're a college student or university student watching this, I've got some special offers coming up just for you. You definitely don't want to miss those. Now, if this content is already helping you out, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. It really helps me continue creating these valuable videos for you. This is your channel, and I'm here whenever you need financial guidance. Today, we're breaking down credit card interest rates in a way that'll blow your mind. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to avoid those sneaky charges and potentially save thousands of dollars every year. And remember, if you have any questions about credit cards, drop them in the comments below. I personally reply to every single one. Now let's jump into today's game-changing content. Credit card companies make money in two ways. One is the fees they charge retailers, restaurants, and other sellers of goods and services when you use your card to buy something. The other is the interest and fees they charge you. Here is how credit card interest works and how you can pay less of it. What is credit card interest? Interest is what credit card companies charge you for the privilege of borrowing money. It is typically expressed as an annual percentage rate, APR. The rate can be fixed, meaning it doesn't change or variable. Some cards also come with special promotional APRs with low rates, lasting a specific period of time. Most credit cards have variable APRs that fluctuate with a particular benchmark, such as the prime rate. So if the prime rate is 4%, and your credit card charges the prime rate plus 12%, your APR is 16%. As of September 2024, the average APR of credit cards tracked in Investopedia's database was 24.74%. With most credit cards, you are only charged interest if you don't pay your bill in full each month. In that case, the credit card company charges interest on your unpaid balance and adds that charge to your balance. This means that if you don't pay off your balance in full the following month, you'll pay interest on your interest. This is how credit card balances can grow rapidly and sometimes get out of hand. There is a small window of time when the credit card issuer does not charge interest. The grace period is the number of days between the card's statement date and payment due date. To further complicate matters, some credit cards charge multiple interest rates. For example, they may charge one rate on purchases, but another, usually higher, one on cash advances or balance transfers. For example, if your card has an APR of 16%, the daily rate would be 0.044%. If you had an outstanding balance of $500 on the first day, you would incur 22 cents in interest that day, for a total of $500, 22 cents on the second day. That process continues until the end of the month. If you had a balance of $500 at the beginning of the month and added no other charges, you would end up with a balance of $506.60, including interest. What is a good interest rate for a credit card? Credit card interest rates vary widely, which is one reason to shop around if you want a new card. Typically, the better your credit, as represented by your credit score, the better the rate you'll be eligible to receive. That's because the credit card company will consider you less of a risk than someone with a lower score. When shopping for a credit card, knowing your credit score and the range into which it falls, such as excellent, good, fair, or poor, can help you determine which cards and what kinds of interest rates you might be eligible for before you apply. Repaying credit card debt scenarios. Let's say John and Jane both have $2,000 balances on their credit cards, which require a minimum monthly payment of 3% or $10, whichever is higher. Both are strapped for cash, but Jane manages to pay an extra $10 on top of her minimum monthly payment. John pays only the minimum. John and Jane are charged interest on their card's outstanding balances at an APR of 20% each month. When they make payments, part of their payment goes to paying interest and part toward the principal, their balance. Why pay your balance in full? As an investor, you would be thrilled to get a yearly return of 17% to 20% on a stock portfolio, right? If you could sustain that kind of return over the long term, you should probably be running hedge fund. Paying off a credit card balance is much less. How much is interest on a credit card? The interest charged on credit cards will vary depending on the card company, the card, and the individual. Investopedia's database reported an average credit card interest of 24.74% as of September 2024. How do you avoid paying interest on a credit card? There is only one way to avoid paying interest on a credit card: by paying your credit card balance in full every month. When you pay your balance in full every month, you do not have any amount carried over to the next month, so a card company cannot charge you interest. You are only charged interest on the remaining balance carried over from one billing cycle to the next. Do you get charged interest on your card? If you pay the minimum, yes, you get charged interest on your credit card balance even if you pay the minimum. While you won't be charged any fees, you will be charged interest on the amount not paid. Understanding credit card interest rates is one of the most important parts of using a credit card wisely in the USA. At its core, the interest rate is the cost of borrowing money. When you use your credit card to make purchases, you're essentially borrowing money from your credit card issuer. If you pay off your full balance by the due date, you usually don't pay any interest. But if you carry a balance, interest charges kick in, and that's when things can get expensive. The interest rate on your credit card is expressed as an APR, or annual percentage rate. This APR represents the annual cost of borrowing money, but credit card interest is typically calculated on a daily basis. That means if your APR is 20%, you're not paying 20% each month. You're paying a small fraction of that every single day you carry a balance. Credit card companies use what's called the daily periodic rate to calculate your interest. They take your APR, divide it by 365 days, and then apply that daily rate to your average daily balance. For example, if your APR is 18%, your daily rate is around 0.0493%. So if you carry a $1,000 balance for one day, you'd be charged about 49 cents in interest for that day alone. Now multiply that over an entire month or longer, and the cost can add up fast. Not all purchases are treated equally either. Credit cards can have different APRs for purchases, cash advances, and balance transfers. The purchase APR is the one most people deal with. But cash advances typically have a much higher APR, and there's usually no grace period, meaning interest starts accumulating the moment you take out the cash. Balance transfers can come with promotional APRs like 0% for 12 months. But once the promo ends, the regular APR applies. It's also worth noting that credit card APRs can be variable, meaning they can change over time. Most variable APRs are tied to the US prime rate, which is influenced by the Federal Reserve. So when the Fed raises or lowers interest rates, your credit card APR might increase or decrease accordingly. Your specific APR depends heavily on your credit worthiness. People with excellent credit scores may get APRs as low as 15%, while those with fair or poor credit might see rates well above 25% or even 30%. If you miss payments or go over your limit, you could also trigger a penalty APR. This is a much higher interest rate that kicks in as a consequence of risky behavior, sometimes reaching 29.99% or more. This is why making at least the minimum payment on time every month is essential. But here's a key tip. Paying only the minimum amount due will keep you in good standing, but it won't stop the interest from piling up. If you only make minimum payments, you'll carry a balance longer and pay more in interest over time. Some credit cards offer a grace period, which is a window of time, usually around 21 to 25 days, between the end of your billing cycle and your payment due date. If you pay your balance in full during the grace period, you won't be charged interest on your purchases. But once you carry a balance, the grace period disappears until you fully pay off your card again. Interest is also compounded, meaning you're charged interest on both your balance and any previously accumulated interest. This compounding effect can cause debt to snowball quickly if not controlled. It's also important to watch out for deferred interest offers, which are common with store credit cards. These offers might promise no interest for 12 months, but if you don't pay off the full balance within that time, you could be charged retroactive interest from the date of purchase. Some cards offer introductory 0% APR periods, especially for new purchases or balance transfers. These offers can be a smart way to finance large purchases or consolidate debt, but they must be managed carefully. If you don't pay off the full balance before the intro period ends, the regular APR will kick in, often at a high rate. You can find your credit card's APR on your monthly statement or in your cardholder agreement. It's usually broken